Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Math Unlocked, and I'm your host, Mrs. Rhodes-Grierson. So what are we doing today? Today we're looking at algebraic expressions, but for this lesson we're looking at how do we identify like and unlike terms. How do I identify like and unlike terms? Now here I have an expression, and in the expression I'm looking at the terms, and let me just ensure that I remind you of how to identify terms. Now, terms are separated by two operations. Terms are separated by two operations. The operations are addition and subtraction. So when I look at this expression here, I have 3x plus 4y plus 2x squared minus 5. So I can therefore count how many terms exist here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice I counted by looking at what separates them. So this is 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, 4 term. Now what I want to know is what terms in this expression are like or what terms are unlike. Now in the expression I have 3x and then I have 4y. The fact that this is representing x, which means I have 3 units of whatever this is. Let's say this is representing, x is representing bananas and y could be representing yams. If x was representing bananas, I would have 3 bananas here. But if y was representing yams, then I would have 4 yams here. It therefore means I can't add yams and bananas to say I have 7 what, because they're not the same things. I come over here and I realize that in this expression there's an x. So I might be tempted to think they're the same things, but then I realize that there's a power on this, which is saying that there's something that is different about this one than this one. What I can say is that they have something in common, they have x in common, however they're not exactly the same because x is squared here and this x would have been raised to a power of 1. Even though I don't see the power, it's the power of 1. And then there is this 5 that is standing by itself with no variable attached, which makes this a constant term, which means that in this expression, there are no terms that look exactly alike. None. But what if I gave you this expression? If I gave you 5a plus 4b plus 3a. If A represented apples and B represented bananas, it would therefore mean that I have 5 apples plus 4 bananas plus 3 apples. If I have apples here and apples here, it means these terms are exactly alike. Remember that the number of it does not change the fact that the term is expressing the same quantity, because we're looking at the variable to decide, are they alike? Are they representing the same thing? So if this is 5 of apples, 5 apples and 3 apples, it therefore means that I could put them together instead of separating them and they're the same things. Group the things that are alike. And just like how you'd have group things in general, and when you create groups, the thing must have something in common. In this case, when we create the groups, they must be exactly alike. So I'm just saying, if I have 5 apples here and 3 apples over there, put the apples together in one bag and tell me how many apples. I would have 8 apples plus 4 bananas. Now, this expression now cannot be simplified because you cannot add apples and bananas, because apples and bananas are 2 different things. So therefore mean that the expression as it is would have been in its simplest form because of the terms being unlike. Now what you're going to do for me is to look at this expression and let me know what 2 terms are exactly alike. So we have the expression 7p plus 4q plus 2p. What 2 terms are exactly alike? That's expression 1. Expression 2, you have the expression 5m plus 2n plus 3m squared plus n. What terms in that expression are exactly alike? Post it in the comment section. Let us check with one another. can we identify the terms that are exactly alike?